I'm Andy, and this is Get Up. You guys, I am so excited about this video. First of all, thank you to all of our subscribers and your support. We really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. I'm going to get right into the question of this video. The question is, can you build this for less than $5,000? The answer is absolutely you can. And I'm excited to tell you how. First of all, I started this channel because I wanted to give people real reviews, honest reviews. And so I'm going to be straightforward with you. If you're thinking that you can build all of this and have a launch monitor, a ceiling base or floor base, and a PC, a gaming PC, and a projector. I got my projector up there. If you think you can have all that for less than $5,000, not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. What I'm specifically talking about today is my built-in simulator room. I'm talking about this screen. This screen's custom made for my space, my size of the room. It's from Carl's Place. I'm going to go into that more details later on. It also includes the padding around the top and the sides of the screen. It includes my DIY wall panels. It also includes the putting turf and the rough around the edges. It includes the hitting mat, okay? It also includes the gym flooring, which is throughout my entire space. I got it throughout the entire space because this is also my home gym. I love to work out, and this is where I do my workouts. By the way, it also includes these chairs right here, okay? This entire setup that I just pointed out to you cost me $4,700. $4,700. It's a heck of a deal in my opinion. Now, some of that's because I did some DIY things. These panels in particular, I'm going to tell you, you can buy these pre-made. I chose not to. We're going to go into more details on that later on. $4,700, you can have this built-in room. It's going to vary a little bit. If your room's smaller or bigger, it'll decrease or increase the price a little bit. But I'm going to get right into this and show you how you can build all this for less than $5,000. All right, guys, as you can see behind me, I've got the walls put up, and now we're ready to install the built-in golf simulator room, the screen and the panels and all that good stuff. Before we get started on that, everybody's room situation is going to be unique. You may already have a room that's set up and ready to go, walls are framed up, and that's great. I didn't. My golf simulator room is in my garage. I'm using part of the garage to build this. And so because of that, I needed to separate my space from the rest of the garage. So I had to frame up two walls, as you can see behind me here. I'll give you a little closer look. Got the wall where the screen's going, and then this side wall. This wall was already here, existing wall. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start by installing the brackets, the corner brackets for the screen, and a cable that goes around, and I'm gonna walk you through that process. Let's have some fun. So the first thing I'm gonna do is, there's 4 brackets that get attached for the screen to attach to with a cable. I need to make sure that the screen is a minimum of 12 inches from the back wall that's behind the screen. Otherwise, your golf ball, when you hit the screen, could potentially hit that wall and it cause some damage to your screen, and you don't want that. It could also kick your ball right back to you really fast. So I'm going to measure out where those 4 brackets are going to go, and I'm going to strike a line with a level just to make sure we're good and level here before we continue on. And once we get that on there, we'll go ahead and secure the brackets. Okay, the lines are marked. I'm going to go ahead and double check. It's always good to double check, triple check, make sure your measurements are right. Again, I want to make sure this is as square as possible. I also want to make sure that there's at least 12 inches between the screen and the wall behind it. So I'm going to go ahead and check for that now. $12.25. It's perfect. Okay. So we've got the bracket. We've got a lag bolt. So let's go ahead and lag this thing in. Okay, the brackets are on. A couple things to note. I'm going to get you up here close. You'll notice that it's tapered at the top. Here's a side angle. So on the bottom bracket, the taper points upward. On the top bracket, way up there, the taper points downward. But again, you'll receive detailed instructions with the screen. Again, I just want to give you a good visual of walking through that process and what it looks like. Next step, we're going to start installing the cable and the screen. Well, I was getting ready to hang the screen last night and I realized I was just exhausted. So I called it quits for the night. I went in, hung out with the wife and the kids, watched some movies with them, had a great time. Went to bed, got a good night's sleep, and now I'm ready to go back at it again today. So we're gonna go ahead and get this screen started. I'm gonna show you over here what I got with the screen. There's this cable. This is actually gonna be mounted on top. And then there's another cable like this that's already installed through the bottom of the screen that this will connect to. But this one goes in first. And then they sent me four of these linch pins with the pulley wheels. And each one of those will go on one of these corner brackets that we installed last night. So we're gonna work on that. I'm gonna climb up here on this ladder and get started. And this is what it looks like when it's installed. The pulley, the cable's behind it, linch pin goes through the bottom hole, and then you just lock it in right here with that. You're good to go. So I'm gonna go to the other side and do the same thing. In case you haven't noticed, you're going to want an 8-foot ladder for this job. It definitely comes in handy. Top cable is installed. As you can see, it just hangs here off the side. Leave it draped to the other side and hanging down here. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to grab the screen and we're going to loosely zip tie it to each bracket up here just to let it hang. That way we have space to work with where we can actually start attaching the bottom cable to the top cable and put some tension on it. And I got to tell you, I'm pretty excited about this. That was a little tricky doing it by myself, so I do recommend that you get somebody to help you with it. It's doable, but I almost dropped the screen a couple times. It's pretty heavy. You can tell by picking up the screen it's pretty high quality. It's the premium impact screen and you can tell it's premium. But now we're going to install the bottom cable, which is right here. And it's already run through the bottom of the screen. You can see that. So what we're going to do is we're going to take these pulleys like we did on top, install them on the bottom, and we're going to start cranking this thing down, and I am getting so excited about this. I cannot wait to see the final product. And the next step will be installing zip ties around the bottom grommet and through this pulley on each side. The top already has zip ties. I'm going to crank those down, tighten them. And then after that, we're going to start installing zip ties on each one of the grommets, all the way around the sides and the top. And hopefully it's right. there you have it. The screen is up. It looks pretty good. There's a couple things I want to adjust on it. I'm going to go and tighten up a little of the zip ties, a few of the zip ties a little bit more. And then at the top, it's sagging just a little bit. So they actually sent some zip ties that you can screw up into the joist and zip tie it up and lift up the cable a little more. So I'm going to do that to adjust the top a little bit more. But the bottom looks great. I want to show you this. This is one of the things that I liked about this the most. This comes down to the floor. And I'm going to actually put some artificial turf in that covers that little gap there so you won't see that. But I like that a lot because, like I mentioned before, on my old hitting bay, there was a border at the bottom with a weight on it, and it caused the screen to tear and things like that. But I'm going to go ahead and adjust the top a little bit, and we'll take this to the next step. All right, I got the screen adjusted to where I like it. It looks great. It looks really, really good. I'm super pleased with it. The next step will be installing what they call the starter panels. Now, the starter panels are optional. You don't have to order them. You can just get some Velcro tape and put it on yourself and staple it on there. And what that's going to do is allow you to pull those black flaps tight and Velcro it or hook and loop it. The other option is these, which they call the starter panels. You do have to pay Carl's Place extra for them. I chose to do it because you simply just put it on there and use these screws that they provide to screw it on. So I'm going to go ahead and install those. There are 6 panels on the left, 6 panels on the right, and then 6 panels across the top row as well. I'm going to go ahead and get all those put on, and then we'll actually put some foam in there and Velcro these things tight. Got it. The starter panels are in. That was a pretty smooth process. I'll give you a close-up look at what these look like. So these are the panels, and then right here is a strip of Velcro that runs the entire length. So this flap here can attach to that. But before I attach that, I bought the optional padding that goes in here as well. It's optional. It is more money, you got to pay for that, but I went ahead and paid for that along with these starter panels. So that is the next thing we're going to do. We're going to slap some padding in here, and this is getting very, very exciting. The foam inserts are going in, and after that, the screen is completed. So I'm going to go ahead and stick these in and celebrate. He's done. And it is a thing of beauty. I'm super, super happy with it. Super excited to have that part done. And now the next step. The next step is protection for the walls, protection for the ceiling. And this is where I chose the DIY path. You can buy the pads from Carl's Place. You can buy the pads online from other companies, but they're they're pricey. I'm sure they're worth the money, but I didn't want to spend the money. So I figured out a way to buy the materials and make some myself for about 1/3 of the cost. So that's what I'm going to do. So that is the next step. We're going to build pads that go all the way up each side, the left and right wall. And then we're going to have pads that extend out on the ceiling. So I want to show you a detailed process of how I'm building those. If you want to buy the pads from another company, go for it. If you have the money to do it, go for it. Absolutely. I'm choosing to budget on this one and build it myself. So I'm going to show you how that works. Guys, thank you so much for watching part 1 of our golf simulator build. Part 2 will be coming out sometime next week. But before then, we're going to be releasing another video where we're going to be reviewing putters. So be watching for that video coming up soon, and be watching for part 2 coming out next week. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please like and subscribe to our channel. We'll see you next time.